Next is our action agenda. Number 11 are items considered in executive session, and we have one item to vote on, 2A. May I have a motion? Mr. Gant.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we approve the selected employment items shown in Exhibit A.
Is there a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, that passes 7-0. Next on our action agenda is the approval of resolution for capital budget, and Ms. Franny Heiser is here to present to us.
Madam Chair, members of the board, it's great to be with y'all this evening, this early evening, late afternoon. It is a little odd to be with y'all while the sun is still out. The resolution that is for your consideration tonight authorizes the issuance and sale of not to exceed $13 million of general obligation bonds of the school district through the SCAGO GO program. These funds would be intended to be used for approved capital projects. The timing on this is that the bonds would be issued by September, and we do have a reimbursement resolution as part of this document, so that if during the summer you begin your projects, then when the bond proceeds are available, you would reimburse the general fund or whatever fund was used to advance monies for those projects. Under the School Bond Act, the school district is required to use bond funds for capital projects for acquiring and equipping school facilities. It is not required that you specifically identify those projects in your resolution, and generally speaking, y'all do not do that, that you will work off of a separate list of capital projects. So inside this document, we don't have details about the expenditure of these bond proceeds, and that's what we recommend, because it is a dynamic situation. You could have a list of projects approved as part of your budget process, and in the summer something may come up and you may need to add or take from that list of projects. So this document authorizes the borrowing of the money. It does not specifically authorize the expenditure of the money. That's through other action of the board. I'd be glad to answer any questions y'all might have.
Are there any questions? Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll accept a motion for this. Mr. Gant?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the resolution for capital budget shown in Exhibit D.
Is there a second, Ms. Lovelace? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, that passes 7-0. Next is, thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Heiser. Number 13, final approval of proposed revisions. May I have a motion? Mr. Haltwanger.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the final approval of proposed revisions of Board Policy IKD Honor Rolls Exhibit E.
May I have a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion? I know we've heard presentations about this for several times. Seeing no hands for discussion, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, that passes 7-0. The last item on our action agenda is the first reading of proposed revisions to Board Policy KHE. May I have a motion? Mr. Gant.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we have first reading approval of proposed revisions to Board Policy KHE, political campaign materials, distribution, staff participation, and political activities shown in Exhibit F.
Is there a second? Mr. White?
A second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All right, once again, we've talked about that and asked a lot of questions. Seeing no discussion, all in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, that passes 7-0. That ends our action agenda.